Nearly all of us have come across Vishing, short for voice phishing, fraudulent phone calls or voice messages designed to trick people into providing sensitive information. So what are clear examples and how do you avoid it? Brendan Atkins with GTE Financial is here to share some valuable tips. So welcome to the show. Great to have you here.
Thank you.
I think we were talking earlier, and it seems like everyone has a story. Either it's happened to them or someone they know of, being tricked. And so let's first of all define it a little bit more. This Vishing with the V.
Yeah. So Vishing is just yet another form of phishing that we're seeing out there. As you mentioned, it's called voice phishing. So what scammers will try to do is they'll initiate a phone call to start the scam, and they'll pretend to be a financial institution or government agencies or sometimes even family members to try to initiate the scam. And they're going to employ tactics to initiate some kind of emotional response, like fear or anger or worry. And that's just to kind of keep the victim engaged.
Yeah, and sometimes even on the phone ID, it says the name of the place that they say they're calling from.
Sure, yeah, spoofing is a very big topic that's happening.
Yeah, so be cautious of that. So, and you have an example for us, something that happened right here in our community?
Exactly, so again, we've seen an increase in a number of the scammers trying to impersonate financial institutions. And as you mentioned, what happened recently, a very specific case, is someone spoofed a phone number, pretended to be a fraud employee, and told the victim, we saw a $600 purchase from Best Buy on your debit card, and they were able to catch the victim off guard, and again, trigger those emotional responses that we talked about. And at that point, they were able to obtain enough information to get a password reset code sent to their phone and get a hold of that and get access to their financial accounts. And at that point, it was too late.
Yeah, and so, what are some of the red flags that, as soon as you talk to someone, that you should be a little bit cautious? I'm sure we should be cautious anytime that we get a phone call and we don't know who's on the other end, right?
Absolutely. So it's important to know that your financial institution is never going to call you and just start asking for things like a password reset code or your social security number. And what these scammers will try to do is they'll try to keep you on the phone as long as possible. They don't want you to disconnect. So if you start saying, like, I want to talk to a family member, or maybe I want to talk to my financial institution to see how legitimate this is, they may start making threats. They may start telling you, no, I'm going to freeze your accounts if you do that. So if you start hearing things like that, that's a huge red flag. And we just tell people to trust your instincts and try to slow it down a little bit to realize what's happening.
Yeah, so if you hear that kind of thing, what's your best course of action? Should you just hang up? Should you call your financial institution yourself? What do you recommend?
Absolutely. It's okay to just immediately hang up. And then that contact information, that if you want to see what the legitimate phone number or email address, whatever your favorite way to contact your financial institution is, go to their websites, reach out to them, and then kind of start that process. That's the best way to really react in that scenario. But again, if someone starts making threats, that's just a really big red flag. Your financial institution is never going to do things like that to help you out in those scenarios.
Right. I imagine your legitimate financial institution will say, okay, if you feel more comfortable calling us back, they're going to be okay with that. Absolutely. So what can we do to protect ourselves before we even get that phone call?
So I kind of mentioned that that you should be kind of aware of those contact phone numbers, or at least how to find them. Also, something that we recommend to everyone is enabling something called two-factor authentication on those important accounts. And that may seem kind of daunting or intimidating if you're not familiar with what that is. So always feel free to reach out to your tech-savvy friends like me. We're happy to help out with stuff like that. And again, just familiarize yourself with those kind of contact numbers and where to go in case you even feel like you're in that situation.
Yeah, because what can happen if someone actually goes through the process and ends up getting that sensitive code or that password?
Yeah, so we talked a lot about how to prevent that, because that's what we want to do. But sometimes you still find yourself in that scenario. So if that happens, again, try to reach out to your financial institution's fraud team, and they'll be able to start the process for account recovery or freezing the account. It's just so important, I think, to talk to the people in our community who are most vulnerable to those, to make sure that they're aware of kind of what's happening, because those folks are going to maybe be on fixed income, managing retirement accounts. They're not going to be monitoring those transactions on a day-to-day basis. So it's really important to make sure that they have the help that they need and they know how to act in those situations. What's great though is that most of our financial institutions in our community have pieces in place to help protect us too in real time. At GTE, one of my favorite features is on our mobile app. You can protect your cards in real time on the go, which is important because that's how we do a lot of our banking nowadays, right?
Right.
And then we also have something called a Go Premium account where you can, we have extra security features like credit monitoring and identity theft protection, and these kinds of protections are available everywhere now. So
yeah, and if you're listening to this great advice and you have a friend who's older or senior, we need to let them know that it's okay to just hang up, that you don't have to give your passwords, all that good information, right?
Definitely, definitely.
Do you see this happening a lot in the older population?
I would say they're the most vulnerable, but they're going after anyone they can, and people of all ages are kind of falling for it, for lack of a better term. So it's not that just they're susceptible to it, all of us are. So it's okay to have this heightened sense of awareness. And what I try to tell people is you don't want to be scared necessarily, just kind of be aware and slow things down a little bit.
Perfect, yes, take your time. Well, thank you, great advice, really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.